So today I would like to discuss two things. One part of today's meeting is quite theoretical. The second part is much more practical. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about today is condensed versus expanded controls. I think that we need a little bit more information about what we mean when we say that we'll encapsulate information in a more condensed manner than going to does. Just a second. There. So we will study or examine today instantiations of will, going to, and present progressive. We will analyze the conceptual structure underlying each of these different construals. And to do that, I'd like to show you this proposal that I have, in which I am including every, or I think almost every single grammatical construction with verbs. Usually our typical traditional way of conceiving grammatical constructions is the way you're looking at right now, where we have three different columns for present, past, and future. And we have four rows, four horizontal rows for simple, 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 continuous, 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 perfect, 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 and perfect continuous, and perfect continuous. But I think this is a rather close-minded way of thinking about grammar. I think a more realistic, more productive way of thinking about grammatical constructions is the one that I am showing you right now. We're going to focus our attention today, and this is going to be the last day that we discuss going to and will, but I hope that I am able to finally give you the whole perspective of these two constructions. So we will analyze going to in terms of evolutionary momentum prospection. I will talk about that in more detail in 5 or 10 minutes. Also, present progressive or continuous for fixed arrangements in the future. And here above on the upper right corner, we have extreme condensation in extreme posteriority for future will predictions. So how do we understand will for predictions as a matter of condensation? One way to think about this is that with will, everything, all the conceptual content is packed into one single conceptual unit. In contrast, evolutionary momentum prospection presents the conceptual content as a given state of affairs within which we expect certain things to happen. So I am using the expression state of affairs. That's going to be very important. What are other ways of talking about will in terms of condensation? What are some synonyms? Compressed or compression. It is a conceptual content that is being presented as one that is tightly packed, compacted, narrowed, shrunk, reduced, conceptual, instantaneous. These are just different synonyms that I thought could be useful in defining the differences between will and going to from a cognitive grammar conceptual point of view. What about going to? We say in cognitive grammar that we have a frame of evolutionary momentum prospection. Some synonyms are wide open windows of attention, expanded view, broadened perspective, extensive conceptualization. If we want to use more technical terms, because here I am giving you sort of terms that are not exactly the most technical terms around, but I think these are clearer, more accessible. But if you would like to have the more technical terms of these issues, you can go to our cognitive grammar seminar website and go to section 3, schematization and specification. You download the book that I left there for everybody, and you go to page 64 and you will find the terms maximal scope, immediate scope, and the book deals initially with this problem in terms of the elbow and the hand. What about the elbow? When you think of an elbow, you are focusing your attention on one specific part of the body, but of course the whole context necessarily invokes the whole body of a person, but our attention is focused on one single aspect of the whole, which is the elbow. The same goes for the hand. Our immediate scope of attention is directed at the hand, but You cannot think of a hand without taking into account that hands belong to people. So the person as a general being is the one that construes the maximal scope of attention. Of course, these are lexical examples. These are problems of one single word. We are not right now concerned with an analysis of one single word. We are concerned with the analysis of grammatical constructions with verbs. So this is just the initial introduction to more technical vocabulary that I won't go into. I am mentioning this just because I guess some of you would like to have a more hardcore technical aspect of the whole issue. So that's the only reason why I am mentioning this. But we will keep on working with more accessible, more intuitive, more with clearer vocabulary that I try to come up with. So let's continue thinking that will is a matter of condensation. And when we think of condensation, we can propose as synonyms the words compressed, tightly packed, compacted. And if we're going to, if we think about it in terms of evolutionary momentum perspection, some synonyms are, as I already mentioned, keep these ones in mind, are wide open windows of attention, expanded view, broadened perspective, and extensive conceptualization. Those are the most important differences between will and going to. So what are some instantiations of will? I already mentioned these ones via WhatsApp the last week, but I would like to discuss them today with you again. I think they could be quite productive. I'm going to play this little clip from a movie. It takes only 3 or 5 seconds. So let's listen to this. 1, 2, 3.
I will look for you. I will find you.
So this is from a very popular movie from 2008, Taken, part 1 or number 1. There was later a second and a third installment of this movie. And you can read here that in this poster, they pasted part of the most popular, I think it's the most popular sentence that is given in this movie. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but if you don't let my daughter go, I will find you and I will kill you. And I like this example because I think that it clearly shows that if you change will for going to, the effect, the conceptual effect that you get is very, very different. I think most of us or all of us are able to distinguish the difference between I will find you versus I am going to find you. I will kill you. I am going to kill you. It became a very popular meme. This became a very popular meme. The one that you're looking at appears very often in many different social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, and the likes. It says, there I will find you and I will kill you. And what happens if I change it? I'm showing you below. It feels very different. Let me read. I am going to find you and I am going to kill you. Is it possible to say that? Is it possible to say, I am going to find you and I am going to kill you? Of course, it's possible to do so, but something changes, something very important changes. And that's what I want to discuss with you today. Let me give you some more examples in which this meme has been applied. We have there a mosquito and it says, I don't know where you are, but I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you. You should be able to feel that the action is compressed, compacted, condensed into one single focal event in the future. Another example, if you call me about a cell phone plan upgrade again, I will find you and I will kill you. So this is why it has become such a popular meme, because it has been used for many different situations in which somebody's very angry at someone else and they kind of want to evoke the whole thing going on in that movie. I don't know where you are, but if you send me another Candy Crush invite, I will find you and I will kill you. Another example, if you talk to me about Star Wars, some people hate Star Wars, I will find you and I will kill you. I don't know why you took my bike pump, but I will find you and I will kill you. I don't know who you are, but I will find you and I will kill you. This is a very popular character of The Simpsons. If you know what happens to this guy in this cartoon, you will very sure know what he means and why he's saying that. Another example, I will find you and I will make a meme about you that refers to a different type of situation, but I hope that you are able to notice how the auxiliary will is so effective at condensing, packing, compressing the whole future scene. Another example that deviates from the original aggressive meme. That's why it's a meme, because it changes little by little its content in different ways. So let me read. Guys deserve to be spoiled until how handsome they are on a daily basis, I guess. How do you expect to be treated like a queen if you treat him like a servant? And then the reaction is, I don't know who you are, but I will find you and I will marry you. So we keep this will, and we gotta ask ourselves why is it so effective to use will under all of these different examples. And a final example of this meme, when lockdown is over, I will find you and I will drink coffee with you. We could change that for going to, as I am showing everybody below. I am going to find you and I am going to drink coffee with you, but something feels different. Something is not the same. The difference between I will drink coffee with you and I am going to drink coffee with you is, I think, very easy to get. I hope it is easy for everybody to see the difference. Now, let me show you some other examples from other memes. Kids today will never know the pleasure of slamming the phone down on someone. So you are using will for a very specific reason, as opposed to going to. Another example, today's kids will never know the struggle of having to wait for this to finish rewinding. So will never know. Kids today will never know what it was like to take a ton of pictures and have to wait a week to find out they were useless. So once again, you already have the auxiliary will. Kids today will never know. Another example, kids today will never know the struggle of having to hit a button 3 times just to get one letter. So will never know. And finally, kids these days will never know the struggle. Only 6,000 before Christ kids will remember this. Of course, this is just mocking the idea of having each generation complaining about next generations. But what's interesting here is that we got to ask ourselves, why did the person who designed this meme use will instead of going to? Why not? Kids these days are never going to know the struggle. It's not impossible to do it, but something changes so much that the speaker felt naturally that the best choice was will instead of going to. Another meme, this meme will never get old. They said you'll be popular forever. They said, what if we change the will for going to? This meme is never going to get old. You are going to be popular forever. Yes, that's possible, but something changes radically. And I think this is now my final example in this list. We will rock you, as I mentioned in a WhatsApp message, is a very popular song. Everybody has heard this song. And what would happen if you change it for I am going to rock you, I am going to rock you? Apart from the fact that it doesn't sound so, I'm not so sure I would say that, but I would say sticky, that it doesn't stick with people. There is a conceptual difference between will and going to that I want to emphasize. So the proposal is that when we use going to, especially for plans, of course, going to is used for other things other than plans. Going to has other uses, but I think one of the most common uses of going to is for plans. And when you use going to for plans, basically what you do, what this structure helps you to, is to evoke the scene, the situation in far greater detail than you would be able to do so with will. With will, you compress, you condensate, you pack everything into one single unit. Prototypically speaking, of course, that there could be intermediate examples. Let's remember now what the conceptual structure of the verb go is. So remember that for the verb go, there are four basic elements. There are more than four, but the basic ones are four. Number one, the departure point or source. Number two, the destination, where you want to get. That's the goal. You have the trajectory. There is the path you have to follow in order to reach your goal. And of course, the mobile entity, the person or object of the universe that is moving, that is going somewhere. So for example, I am going to read a book. Evokes, I couldn't say that all of the conceptual content that I just mentioned, but it does much more than will is able to evoke. This is what we call evolutionary momentum. Let me explain in more detail what we mean in cognitive grammar when we say evolutionary momentum. This is a very common term that we use in cognitive linguistics. So let me show you this GIF where you're looking at a bubble that hits this cactus and we see it explode. So I hope you're able to read. And that H shouldn't be there. I'm sorry. Sorry, the G shouldn't be there. But okay, within a given state of affairs, we expect or we predict certain things to happen. That's what we mean by evolutionary momentum. Given the state of affairs that we're looking at right now, once the GIF restarts, we will be able to see that as the bubble approaches the cactus, we know what is going to happen. So that's evolutionary momentum. If nothing else impedes this bubble from further approaching the cactus, it's simply going to explode. We know that, we take that for granted. What about this one? This is a famous scene from the Matrix movie. I think everybody knows it. Once again, with this example, I am trying to show you what we mean by evolutionary momentum. What we mean is that within a given state of affairs, if nothing else happens, we expect certain events to continue to happen one after the other. Here's another example. This dolphin is jumping, and unless something happens, we expect the dolphin to fall down back into the water. And finally, what about these bats? They're flying and they follow certain direction that is not going to change unless something dramatic happens. So once again, we say in cognitive grammar that within a given state of affairs, we expect or we predict certain things to happen. We know more or less where these bats are heading to, unless something radically different happens and changes the course of action of these bats flying over the sky. So in the example I was discussing, I am going to read a book tomorrow morning with a nice cup of coffee. We evoke an evolutionary momentum of a given state of affairs. Unless something happens, we know that there is a trajectory to follow from right now, right here, up until tomorrow, right there, right then, at the moment at which I will be able to finally sit down and read my book as I drink a nice cup of coffee. So that's basically what we mean by evolutionary momentum. Momentum, by the way, in this context is a synonym of inertia. You know, inertia, when you are in a car and the car suddenly turns to the left or to the right very fast, our bodies want to continue moving along the original line, and we feel that we are pressed to one side of the car. So that's basically what we mean by evolutionary momentum. Within a given state of affairs, we expect things to continue to evolve within or towards one certain direction. I haven't discussed Ghana, and I won't. I just want to mention that Ghana has another particular conceptual structure and conceptual and way of organizing the conceptual content. But I will jump to this other schema where we have this girl thinking about reading a book in the future. What if she says, I will read a book? That's part of what we were discussing 2 weeks ago. Is it possible to use going to and also will for certain events of the future? Yes, but the conceptual content and the way we conceive of, the way we think about, the way we conceptualize the events changes radically. I am going to read a book is very different from I will read a book. I will read a book compresses, condensates all the information into one single conceptual unit in the future. In order to talk about these degrees of prototypicality, it is useful to think of this in terms of a normal distribution. So most of the time, is going to be used for evolutionary momentum perspectives, but that doesn't mean that there won't be exceptions. There can be exceptions just as in any other normal distribution. And the same goes for will. Normally, when we use the verb, the auxiliary will, we condense, we compact, we compress all the information into one single point. So about almost 70% of the time, that is the expected use of will, but it doesn't mean that it is always going to be like that. There will be, of course, exceptions of how we conceptualize each of these different constructions for a number of different events. So let's discuss a little bit more what we mean by a normal distribution. I guess most of you are already familiar with this concept, but let me explain just a little bit, just in case. So this is a normal distribution. In a normal distribution, we expect that given a certain test, there will be poor performers, average performers, and high performers. So that's about 16% on the left side, 68% in the middle, and 16% on the right side. For example, IQ score distribution. I guess most of us are somewhere in the middle. Most of us range somewhere between 85 and 115 IQ score. A few people were not endowed with such, they were not very lucky and they have a rather low IQ score. And some people are very, very fortunate because they have been given the gift of having a very high intelligence. And then it has by now been federally demonstrated that only a few percent of the population is able to score 115 or more, maybe 130, maybe 145 in one of these tests, regardless of the validity or not of these tests as a reflection of intelligence. That's something we could discuss some other day. What are some other examples of normal distributions? I am giving you some examples over here: average weight, average height, her length, height, love online education, introversion, extroversion, inpatient, patient, teacher. So what do I mean with all of these? I mean that most of us Mexican males in Mexico, I guess, we range, I guess, I'm not so sure about the exact numbers, but I guess most of us male older than 18 years old people in Mexico are weighing somewhere between, let me venture, 65 to probably 90 kilograms. And probably just a very few males in Mexico that are already 18 years old or older are weighing probably 45 kilograms, and only a few people in Mexico are weighing probably 130 kilograms. That I wouldn't say that's the majority of people. The same goes for height. I guess most of us range somewhere between 170 and or 165 maybe to 179. But some males in Mexico are rather short, and so they are probably 150 or 155, and some other ones are very, very tall, and they're probably on the right side, about 180 or 190 centimeters tall. Uh, we can analyze the same for hair length. Most of us don't have very long hair, or we are not bald. What about online education? I think most of us have adapted by now to online education, and we don't really hate it. We don't really love it. We have simply adapted, but a few people probably really, really, really hate online education. And a few people, most probably, they are in love with online education, and they would prefer to teach online for the rest of their lives. The same goes for introversion, extroversion. Most of us are neither extremely introverted nor extremely extroverted, but a few people are incredibly introverted, and they can barely stand having interactions with other people. A few people are very, very extroverted, extremely extroverted. They cannot be happy if they don't interact with other people and draw their attention. And finally, most of us, I think, are fairly patient with our students, but of course, there will be a few teachers who are very, very impatient. They get very angry. They have no way of tolerating their own students. And a few teachers are extremely, extremely, exaggeratedly patient. So that's what we mean by normal distributions. And that's what we would expect to happen with will and going to as well. If you're interested in this matter of normal distributions, there are many, many websites around, but I could suggest out of so many there are, this one over here, galtonboard.com, blah, blah, blah. So you have all of these different statistics about normal distributions, just in case anybody's interested in this concept. But let's go back to our topic of discussion of today. So going to for evolutionary momentum perspectives, and will for condensed or compacted conceptualizations. So what I'm trying to say is that most of the time, when you use going to, most of the time, you are going to evoke an evolutionary momentum perspective of the sort that I have already discussed today before. And the same goes for will. Most of the time, when you use will is going to compact the whole conceptual content into one single unit in space and time. But you could have, of course, in other examples, some exceptions that are out of this norm. So you could have will in some instantiations in which it actually reflects evolutionary momentum perspective here on the left side, or some other different meanings. So going to evokes, as to summarize everything up, a much more detailed scene of the intended event. And because of the conceptual structure of the verb go, remember, go necessarily invokes a source, a path, a goal, and a mobile entity. The intended event feels much closer to the here and now. I am not saying that it's not here, it's not now, but pretty much close to it, far much more than will prototypically construes the event. If you want to maximize the control over the situation, on the other hand, you can use present progressive, which increases the degree of control far much more than any other grammatical construction that I can think of right now. As I was saying some minutes ago, we're going to rack you, or we are racking you tonight would radically change your mental representation of the event because the source, trajectory, goal, and mobile entity would be accorded a much greater conceptual saliency. What is conceptual saliency? It's actually very simple. Saliency means prominence, that is to say, how visible such components are, metaphorically speaking. Which components? The source, the trajectory, the goal, and the mobile entity. So with going to, all of these elements are very prominent. They are very visible. With will, not so much. It's not that they completely disappear, but they have a much lower conceptual presence. In fact, there is something we call iconicity of language, which is the following. More phonological material is equal to more conceptual content and vice versa. Less phonological material is equal to less conceptual content. Let me show you in the following slide. Here you have on the left side the prototypical use of will. In the middle, you have the prototypical use of present progressive for fixed arrangements. And on the right side, you have the prototypical use of going to for plans and other uses, but particularly for plans. So let me give you some examples. I will do my homework, or I'll do my homework. I am having lunch with Christopher next Friday, and I am going to read my favorite book on Sunday. So the difference amongst all of these different constructions pertains to how we elaborate the conceptual content, how we organize the conceptual structure, using each of these different constructions. By the way, when you say I will do my homework, or I will do all my homework, I think you can very well agree that you feel it's something that you will do either in 10 hours from now, or 2 days from now, or 1 day from now. I haven't specified here when, but I think most of us would agree that it feels kind of away from here and now. But if I say I'll do my homework, it feels closer. It feels that it's a sort of spontaneous decision. So that very much reflects what I was saying here. This is something that in linguistics we call iconicity. More phonological material, more conceptual content. Less phonological material, less conceptual content. So here, in this example, I'll do my homework makes it feel like there is less time in between, because there is less conceptual content, because you have lost a couple of sounds or phonetic material between will and ul. Will, ul. That's a matter of iconicity. Of course, I am simplifying a few aspects of the whole issue. We could ask ourselves what gonna is doing along that continuum. As I mentioned before, I won't deal with gonna in this workshop. That would require to start talking about attenuation and subjectification, which would take far more time than we have for this workshop. But I just want you to know that everything I have said is on the whole a simplification. There is so much more we could tell about the differences between will, the contraction of will, going to, gonna, and the present progressive for fixed arrangements. But I hope that the perspective that I have given you is enough to realize where the strong or most important differences between these different constructions are. We could, however, I would like to mention that later, maybe in August or September, I'm not sure exactly when, but we could later organize another seminar in which we could deal with these more fine-grained details of the matter at hand. Teacher Raimundo commented something via WhatsApp that drew my attention. He said, if you say that you are going to kill someone, you already know the methodology, actions, timetable, and other aspects you will experience while doing so. And yes, I agree. I very much agree with teacher Raimundo. And still you could ask yourselves, exactly to what extent do we know all of this? To what extent do we know the methodology, the actions, the timetable, and every other aspect that we will experience in this example? Um, the honest answer is that nobody knows, and we won't probably know until we have better tools to analyze language. But it's clear, I hope that it's clear, that typically or prototypically going to enhances various elements of the planning of an action much more than will does. Just a side note, if you want a more fine detailed characterization of the mechanisms that bring about prototypicalization, I can recommend this book that is here on the right side, Entrenchment and the Psychology of Language Learning, How We Organize and Adapt Linguistic Knowledge. I have the book in PDF. I can facilitate the book for everyone by posting it in our website. I will do that later. I just want to give you an idea of the complexity that all of these analyses can involve. So just very quickly, let me read some of the articles that you could find in this book. Number one, a framework for understanding linguistic entrenchment and its psychological foundations. Entrenchment in cognitive grammar, entrenchment in construction grammar, entrenchment effects in language change, the corpus-based perspective of entrenchment, on entrenchment, entrenchment from a psycholinguistic and neurolinguistic perspective, entrenchment as onomasiological salience, memory consolidation, on the automaticity of language processing, and so on and so forth. I don't want to bother you reading everything, but I just want to give you a sense of how much information there is currently about the ways in which we build our schemata, our mental representations of different constructions. I would like to clear out that I am not claiming that prototypicalization and entrenchment, which is the topic of discussion of this book, are one and the same. But if you read this book, I will facilitate it to you. You will better understand the problem at hand. Finally, for those of you who speak Spanish fluently, this is another comment that I mentioned in WhatsApp. I think these examples should be very helpful. In Spanish, what happens if you compare va a llover versus lloverá? Ya vamos a comer versus comeremos. Va a venir un amigo versus vendrá un amigo. If you are a native speaker of Spanish, you know very well the difference. You are able to feel the difference. So that's basically what I have been trying to show you with will and going to. Will compresses, condensates, compacts everything into one single unit away in the future. Yeah, and usually, remember the normal distribution, usually it's further away in time than going to. Normally, going to feels closer to us. Normally, remember the normal distribution. Of course, you could come up with examples in which going to is also quite far away in time. But that's not the prototypical use of going to. These are, of course, examples of Spanish that you may legitimately call into question, as there are not English examples with will and going to, but there is considerable overlap between the two languages insofar as the verbs go and ir share so much conceptual content. Remember this example that I gave you in the cognitive grammar seminar? So you have the concept of cups and you have the concept of bowls. There is a particular conceptual structure of what a cup is and what a bowl is, but you could have intermediate examples in which this object in the middle is not entirely a cup and it is not entirely a bowl, it is somewhere in the middle. And the same goes for go and ir. Go in English has certain conceptual structure. Ir has a different conceptual structure in Spanish, but you could find some commonalities, some similarities between the verb go as it is used in English and the verb ir as it is used in Spanish. Final example of today's theoretical explanation. Question, why does the Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You, not say, I am always going to love you? Admittedly, the time adverb always already skews. It's sort of bias. It already biases the propositional content to a long-term time span. But English speakers had at least two choices, maybe more, but at least two choices, will and going to. They could have recruited this latter, going to construe the proposition, I am always going to love you just as well, but there is a reason why they didn't. It is not that it is prohibited to say, I am always going to love you. There is not one rule or some sort of legal mandate that forces everybody to say, I will always love you in every single case somebody wants to express his or her love for somebody as an eternal sort of feeling. But you gotta ask yourself, how does that change? If you say, I am always going to love you, how does that change the conceptual content being construed? That is to say, the mental representation regarding the prospect of loving someone forever. On the other hand, present progressive is incompatible for other reasons that I won't go into right now. Technically, in cognitive grammar, we say that present progressive construes the scene with maximal scope. So what happens if I say, I am always loving you, as a way of saying to somebody that I will love that person forever? I am always loving you. Well, it doesn't work very well because there is a semantic conflict that I could explain some other day, but I just want you to notice that the best option is will. For this type of message, the best option is will. Suffice it for now to consider that going to is not a good choice for these lyrics, and we should all ask ourselves why. You can try and listen to the song and try to change every time the singer sings going to, change it for will, and you shall be able to see what happens. For example, I am going to love you. I am always going to love you. I am going to love you forever. You could play with this in as many ways as you want. After today's meeting or tomorrow or during the weekend, I invite you all to take some time to listen to this song. And as you are listening to the song, try to change the wills for going tos and try to make up your mind what changes when you change will for going to. That would be very interesting mental exercise for everybody to carry out when you have time to do so. Final considerations, there is not one single conceptual prototype theory. Different versions have sprung over the years since the 70s. We checked in the cognitive grammar seminar about 3 months ago that conceptual prototype theory started in the 70s with Eleanor Rush and other researchers. So almost 50 years of research have come by. I could say that we currently have a prototype of the prototype. In other words, a non-written version that could attempt to subsume the best aspects of each version. And I would also say that prototype theories like evolution theory, we know it exists. We cannot deny its existence as a natural phenomenon. What remains yet to be seen is what model can describe its fine-grained architecture. And in my view, we won't be able to develop such a more adequate model until the cognitive neurosciences make more progress. And this won't happen until we have better instruments to design better experiments that reveal the complexity of our neural connectivity. Meanwhile, though, as I mentioned, we have to work with what we've got. This is the end of this presentation. Now I am going to start sharing my second and final presentation of today. Just let me open it. It is already open. Now let me share it. It's here. There. Okay, here, play. There. So talking about the future, this is another template that I designed a few days ago, because now I want to show you the application. So this last, what, 50 minutes, I think. It took me about 50 minutes to present all the information that I just showed you. I gave you the theoretical background of everything that we have been discussing, both in the cognitive grammar seminar and in this workshop where we're trying to apply all of this theoretical knowledge. So this is a new template that I prepared, and I want to show you some ideas of how to apply all of these different concepts. So the future plans are similar to intentions. This is a way of presenting the information to your students. You could, of course, come up with other definitions, but this is one that I think is quite useful. And of course, in different classes, you could use different definitions or more definitions with your students. So the future plans. I don't remember exactly who the teacher was who shared these ideas. I hope if he or she is here right now, please let me know so that I can give you the proper credit, because the following ideas are not really mine. I took them from the ideas that you gave me about 3 weeks ago. But let's see. So you could ask your students, please, everybody, finish the following sentences. And so you have, for example, here, this beautiful loving dog, and you have the sentence or the incomplete sentence, he is going to, and I think I could ask somebody, let me ask teacher Ana Luz. Teacher Ana Luz, do you think you could finish this sentence?
He's going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Get some food.
No? Yes, he's going to get some food. Another idea?
Okay.
He's going to
help his owner.
Yes, that's true. He's going to help his owner. Yeah, if somebody else wants to give more ideas, please do so. I think teacher Blanca wants to say something.
I think he's going to fall down. No, it could be
to what?
To fall down.
Fall down. He's going to fall down. All right. So those are two initial suggestions. You could ask your students to take 1 minute to think of as many different examples as they are able to. The point is that I want you to see how this has a progression. Let me show you the following one. Anybody, either teacher Lupita or teacher Blanca or teacher Lupita Avila or teacher Ana or teacher Ben or teacher Lucero or teacher anybody.
He's going to have a party.
He's going to have a party.
He's going to celebrate his birthday.
He's going to celebrate his birthday. Yes, let's check the another one. The next one. He's going. Oops, sorry. There. He's going.
He's going to play.
He's going to play.
He's going to win the match.
He's going to
win
the match or the game. Yes. Next, she's going.
She's going to exercise.
She's going to meditate.
Going to relax herself.
She's going to relax herself.
She's going to breathe.
She's going to breathe. Okay, next. He is
going to read.
Going to read.
He's going to look for some information.
He's going to look for some information, or he's going to study for his history exam, or he's going to Yes,
is going to study.
he's going to study, or he's going to prepare for war against him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
He
he's
is,
going to read.
yes, yes.
He's playing games,
He's playing games or
video games.
He's going to play, he's going to
Yeah,
play video games.
yeah, he's going to play video games.
He's going to sleep late.
He's going to sleep late. Next, he
He's going to get fat.
is going to get fat.
he's going to watch
A movie. Mhm.
He's going to watch a movie.
television.
I think we don't hear you very well, teacher Lupita Garcia. Something's wrong with your audio.
He's going to watch.
He's going
He's
to watch
going to watch television.
television. Yes, yes. And here they
They're going to be punished
are going to be punished
by her teacher.
by
They're
by their
going to
teacher.
calculate.
They're going to make calculations, or they're going to calculate the answer for the mathematical problems on the board. Yes. And here
They are going to have an
Take an
exam.
exam.
they're going to have an
take
exam. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, they're going to respond, they're going to write, they're going to take notes. Yes, there are many
They're
different,
Answer.
they're going to answer. Yes, as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, this is not mine. Does anybody recognize these gifts? Because they are not mine. They are from another teacher. But I couldn't track who these gifts belong to. Nobody recognizes them as
No.
no. So I'm not sure. I have the Google Slides presentations from somebody, but it doesn't have a name, so I wasn't able to give proper credit to the teacher who proposed. What I liked about this proposal, it is that I find it very useful to give students almost the whole full sentence. He's going to, and you just have to add the verb. But little by little, you start, you erase the to, you erase the going to, you erase the is going to, and you don't give them anything at the end. So I think this is a nice way of,
Yes.
yeah, of
It's
designing.
useful.
Yeah, I think it's one way to apply everything that we have talked about. Of course, we should take some time to analyze if these examples are prototypical examples of going to for evolutionary momentum. But that's something we could do later on. Right now, I want to concentrate our attention on ways to apply our theoretical ideas. Now, here's another application that another teacher shared with us, but I think it has several I think the idea is very good. I think the idea here is very good, but there are several problems with this proposal that I do want to discuss with you. So what do we have here? Answer the questions. What is he going to do? The problem with this particular gift, I like the idea of asking our students, what is he going to do? And then have our students respond. What is he going to do? But I think this is very ambiguous. It's not very clear. Personally, I don't feel it's easy to answer because we don't have very much information. I think he's just drawing a heart.
Yes, actually, he's saying, I love you, no?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But that doesn't help very much my student to respond, what is he going to do? So I don't feel this was a very good choice as a gift.
Maybe it can go, it can be a good idea to say, for example, okay, this is just an idea.
Yeah.
What is he going to do? He's going to approach to his crush or something like that, no?
Yeah. That's one way to do it. But I think that this GIF is not a very good choice. I think there are better GIFs to stimulate our students. The question is beautiful. The question, what is he going to do? And the idea is very good. The idea of giving my students the question, what is he going to do? And then present a GIF is excellent. But this particular GIF is not a very good choice, I believe. But let's see the next one. What is she going to do? I think this is a little bit better. She's going to
Give a big hug.
yeah, give him a big hug.
him
She's
a
going
big
to hug
hug.
him, right? Yes,
To
yes.
call.
Yeah. I think this one works better.
She's going to cry maybe also.
Or she's going to cry. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. What about this one? What are they going to do? This one more time, the question is beautiful. I mean, as an exercise, the idea is very good, but the GIF that was chosen here, at least for me, I'm not sure for everybody else, but for me, it is not so clear how exactly this could.
They are
going to
going to
get
work as
married.
models.
They're
They
going
are
to
going
work,
to
To
get
work as
married.
models.
work as models. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
They are going to get married.
Or they're going to get married, but then maybe a GIF that shows somebody walking towards the where is it, the priest?
Aisle.
Yeah, through an aisle towards the priest that is going to marry them. So I could change this GIF. But
Okay.
but the idea is beautiful. But the idea is very good. The
Yes,
idea of
I
Yes, teacher.
chose that because they are perhaps in a shop, in a store where they are selling some.
They are going to sell.
They are going to buy a dress.
Yes. Yeah, I think the idea is very good. I just feel like we have to change the GIFs for more stimulating or easier to process GIFs for students. But the idea is really good. This is why I am showing you this. Let's see this one. What are you going to, one more time, the GIF is not very helpful, I think, but the idea of presenting my students with let's say a sports GIF and asking my students, what are you going to do, or what is he going to do, or what are they going to do? I think this is a very good way of exploiting GIFs for our students. I would just recommend that we choose GIFs that are more stimulating and that they take into account everything that I explained about the conceptual structure of will, going to, and present progressive for fixed arrangements. What is it going to do? One more time, I'm not so sure. Maybe he's going to kiss me. I'm not so
Yes,
sure.
I think so.
Yeah, probably. But what I think,
Give a kiss.
yeah,
He's going to
give-
express his love for
He's
me.
going- yes. I think that's one way to interpret this. And one more time, the reason why I chose this as an example is just that I just want you to get a sense of what you can do with GIFs if you build your own materials for your students. You can just choose a GIF and then write, what is it going to do? What is she going to do? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? Etc.
So sorry, the one before, I think it was because it's an open question, so they can answer anything. They can answer about their plans for the weekend.
All right. Yeah.
It's
Now I
an
get it.
open
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, that could be probably for a final round.
Yes,
of
for a
questions.
final. Yes.
Yes,
it's a
yes.
Maybe they may say, I'm going to take
to
a
watch
cup of
TV,
coffee
they
at the
want
end
to
of the
study.
class.
Any answer.
Yeah, let's imagine it is Friday afternoon. I am working with my students and I want to ask them, what are your plans for the weekend? What are you going to do?
I'm
Something
going
like
to
that,
have
right?
a party.
Yeah. They could answer, yeah, that they're going to party or they're going to play soccer or watch TV. I like this one too, because this is similar to the first examples that I was showing you, where you little by little eliminate information so that students are the ones who have to build or complete the sentences. So here, what
is she going to do?
is she going to do? And the GIF that was chosen here is one more time not very clear to me, but that doesn't matter so much right now because I'm just trying to show you how we can apply all of these GIFs and the ideas that different teachers have given me over the past 2 weeks. And I think this is one more time a good way of applying everything we have discussed so far. Oh, here we have another example. What
are you going to?
Are they going to?
Yes. What are you going to do on Sunday? Or
what are they going to do on Sunday? Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. And oh, and I loved this one because this was a few days before
elections.
Yeah, before the elections in our country in Mexico. So yeah, I think that's something that we also have to consider. We should try to design materials that are in line with whatever is going on currently.
In context.
Yes, yes. Yeah, with more context for our students. Well, our students most of our students don't vote yet, but the idea is beautiful. The idea that you choose a gift that has something to do with current events, I think that's something we should all be striving for. Now, this is an idea. The following ideas are originally by teachers Rocio and teacher Ben. These are other proposals that they gave us 2 weeks ago, and I really, really want to emphasize how useful this can be for all of us. So let's see. Prediction. This is a prediction based on evidence. Remember, evolutionary momentum. So we can predict more or less what is going to happen in the near future because of evolutionary momentum.
He's going to get drunk.
Yeah. So you could ask your students.
He's going to get so drunk that he's going to start making up stories or something like that, right?
Yes. That's the idea, exactly. So you could tell your students, hey, you know what? Mark is drinking too much alcohol. What do you think? What is your prediction of the situation? And just as teacher Blanca and everybody else could as well propose, you could say that he's going to get drunk, he's going to get wasted, he's going to
have problems with his wife.
Yes, he's going to have problems with his wife.
Yes.
Yeah, you could even ask your students, what is his wife going to tell about this? What is his wife going to, how is his wife going to react when he gets home? Yeah, so there are different ways of exploiting all of these different materials. Another example, also from teachers Rocio and Ben. So you could tell your students, hey, this lady is very angry with her husband. Who can tell me her plans? She
is leaving him, or she's going to leave
him, or she's going to leave him. Yeah, you can use both of them. Yeah, she's going to pack her things in order to abandon him. So yeah, so these are other ways in which we can use gifts and everything that we have discussed thus far in order to stimulate our students. I think this is much more engaging than other traditional materials that are around, now here, here are just a few other ideas. We could ask our students to choose 10 GIFs from Giphy that show their plans for next weekend. Then ask them to post them on Facebook, Moodle, Google Classroom, Canvas, or Canva. You know, there is a difference. And ask them to present them either in a Zoom meeting, breakout rooms, or main room, or in a face-to-face class. So I could very well ask everybody here. I could ask all of you to please post in Facebook or in Google Classroom or anywhere else your 10 favorite gifts up for your plans for next weekend, maybe going to the beach or going shopping or going to the mountains or watching Netflix or reading a book. Everybody could have different plans or ideal plans for a weekend. and we could discuss those in class. So these are different ways in which we can use these resources with our students in a class, either online or in a face-to-face setting. And I think, yeah, that's the end of this presentation. I have left these spaces here just in case somebody wants to use the other way of approaching this issue that I showed you about 5 weeks ago, I think, where you could show one GIF and then you type a sentence and you ask your students, is this a prediction or a plan? And of course, you have to choose them very carefully so that students are not confused. And then you give them the answer. Yes, it's a prediction. Next, is this a prediction or a plan? Yes, it's a plan, etc., etc., etc. I think there are so many different ways of applying GIFs and everything that we have discussed about the conceptual structure of will, going, true, and present progressive for fixed arrangements. We still have 20 minutes, so I would like to discuss with everybody. I'm sorry that I spoke so much today. I didn't give you so many chances to express your own ideas, but we still have 20 minutes, and I would like to take this time to do just that. So does anybody have any material or website or Google Slides that you would like to share? You remember that I gave you some templates. Oh, just let me clarify what I'm saying right now. If we go to our, oh, by the way, if you forget how to reach our website, just go to my main website, sergiosanchezpadilla.com. Go to academic production here above. And then you have different stuff, but you look for the one that says applications. And that's it. It's very easy. In case you ever forget, because the website is not easy to remember. The website is sites.google.com/viewed/CG apps, and that's not very easy to remember. Then you go here to topics. You get this option, but then you click on the triangle and you get all the different, or you go here below and you go to digitalization in this case. And then here below, there you have the templates. So these are the templates that I hope you downloaded so that you can use for your own materials. If you want to use these materials to be presented in a conference, feel free to present them as your own. You don't need to give me any credit at all. You can use them in any way you want and use them freely for your own interest. So teachers, would you like to show, present, or comment anything?
Yes, I have my my template.
Yes, great, teacher. Yeah, let's take a look at yours.
Okay, let me share it. I don't know, they are not prototypical examples, but
yeah, we can work that out later, but let's see what you've got right now, teacher. Yeah.
Okay, so we have well, this is a template talking about the future.
Yep.
Prediction or plan, and we have predictions or plans.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
And then, is it a prediction or a plan? In about 3 weeks, I'll enjoy that pool.
Yes, teacher. Oh,
okay.
And we have to answer that, right?
Well,
yeah.
If you want to, is it a prediction or a
plan? I think we should. I think this is a plan, actually. You probably didn't change.
Yes, I think it's a plan.
Yeah, you probably forgot to change the
but maybe not, because it says in about.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's
yes.
True. Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
I have it as a prediction.
Yeah.
It is 3 weeks from now. Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. But let me give you a piece of advice. If you let me give you a suggestion.
Yes, of course.
I think for students, it's going to be easier to process if you tell them that it's a plan. I think I think that's the alternative that you just, I think the alternative that you just gave us is valid, but it is probably
Estoy en
going to
clase.
create some confusion with your students. So, so I could change that for plan, even if I agree that it is also possible to use this as a prediction. Let's check the next ones, teacher.
Okay, maybe I was thinking about changing this time frame. Maybe in December I will enjoy that.
Yeah,
that will probably. But anyway,
yeah.
Okay, plan or prediction.
Yes,
I'm going to learn how to dance Hawaiian. My first class starts this Saturday.
I could say that's a plan. I don't know if the others agree.
Plan.
Yes, also.
Plan to.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, it is a plan.
Yeah, a plan. Yeah.
And then prediction or plan. England will win the Euro Cup.
Well, for me, that's well, everybody else.
That's a
Prediction.
Prediction.
Yeah, I also think it's a prediction. So
Yes, of course, it is a prediction.
Nice.
Prediction or plan. We have company, and I'm going to
Plan.
prepare dinner.
Plan.
Let's say.
Yes,
Yes,
I
it is
also
a
agree.
plan.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry for the examples. Okay, this
No,
has been
these are
two
very
weeks
good.
have been
Yeah, I like
very,
these ones,
very
teacher.
long. A prediction or plan. On-site classes at ENP will start until January
Prediction.
2022.
I think it's a
Prediction.
prediction
Oh,
too.
yes, it
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
prediction.
yeah.
A prediction or plan. I'm going to look for my charming prince at the party. I don't know if I wrote at the party.
I could say that. What do you say, teachers?
I would say that's a prediction.
Prediction.
But the verb is looking for.
Well, according
Yeah,
to me,
I
it
think
was
it's
a plan.
Yeah. If you change find, if you say I will find,
Going to meet.
that's a prediction. If you say will find, but looking for somebody is something that I can decide, something that I can control. So I think it's a plan personally. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
And
The
then,
next.
well,
Oh, nice. You have the summary. Yeah.
yes, just as your presentation, but
Yes,
in this
yes.
case, I had less examples, so I include the gifts within
Great.
the
Yeah, but this is beautiful.
course.
Yes. Nice. Very nice job, teacher. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. And I think this demonstrates that, personally speaking, this is probably a very strong opinion of my own. But I think we can design much better materials than Macmillan, Oxford, etc. You have probably heard about from Mr. Stephen Krashen and Mr. Van Patten, right? You have heard from those guys, and I don't know if you have heard their latest podcasts, but they have repeatedly, many times said that that all these textbooks from Macmillan, etc., are, in a few words, I'm probably just paraphrasing with my own words, but they're basically saying that they're really close to useless. And it's not me saying this; it's Van Patten, who's very well respected, is Mr. Krashen. So I strongly believe that we can make better materials than these big editorials, because those editorials are concerned with other interests that do not align with our real interests. Anyway, we can discuss that later on. Does anybody else want to present his or her materials? Does anybody else have a PowerPoint or website or Google Slides or something to show? We still have 15 minutes.
I have one, but I'm trying to find it. I don't remember where it was.
Yeah. Let's hope that you can find it. Maybe if you look for it with the name, let me show you. If you didn't change the name, it's the name is probably one of these template 1, template 2, and the name that I.
No, I think I changed it.
You probably. All right. Yeah.
Let me.
If you find it before 8:20, I would love to see it. Otherwise, you could send it to me either via WhatsApp or via email, teacher, as you prefer.
Let me see if it's this one.
Yeah,
I
yes, teacher.
sent you mine
Oh, you sent me
by-
yours.
email, yes.
Oh, well, let me see. Did you send it today or?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think it's here. Let me see. Let me share just to make sure. Is it this one, teacher?
yeah, I think, yes, it is.
Yes, great. So let me download that into my computer and
Yeah.
let me present it for everybody. So just a second. Now let me start the presentation. There it is.
I don't know how to post it in my post my presentation in your website, teacher.
Oh, yeah, I can show you in a moment, or you can send it to me via email and I can paste it personally. Yes.
I haven't finished it yet, but I have some.
Oh, so yeah, do you think you could send it to me via email and later you can send me the final version, teacher?
Okay.
Yes, thank you, teacher. So let's see the future prediction similar to hypothesis. So we have the definitions, prediction. So that's very grim. And plans. She's offering a couple of tickets, right, teacher?
Yes, yes. So the idea
Yes.
is that they could guess and I make the question, no?
Yes, yes.
So what's going to happen? What will happen? So
Great,
what do you
great.
think? It's a prediction or plan?
Great.
No?
Yes, yes, teacher. And now,
Now, it's a prediction or plan. She will have a baby.
what do you think, teachers?
It's a plan.
Let's see. Oh, but you don't give us the answer. We just, oh, wait, but I'm not so sure why this changed.
Prediction or plan? Well,
That's a plan.
Yeah. This one is a little bit, I think it's a little, it's not very prototypical. I'm not so sure because I'm not so sure if a woman that is what in her 9th month conceptualizes having a baby as a plan at that moment or as a prediction. I'm not so sure. Maybe we just need a little bit more context. Or maybe this is present progressive, like she's having her
She's
baby
having.
yeah, she's having her baby very soon. Yeah, probably. I will win the lottery. Well, yeah, that's a prediction. Yes, that hopefully comes true. I will score a goal of the match. What do you think, teachers?
Prediction.
Prediction? Oh, we don't have the answer. Maybe you just need to work that part, teacher. You just need to let me show you how I could do it.
yes.
So here is this. I will score a goal, and just let me get there. Yeah. So I could just copy this. I'm going to duplicate this slide, and I'm going to move it here. I'm going to copy this GIF. I'm going to erase this one, and I'm going to paste it here. And then I can copy this here, and I can paste it here. So I will score a goal at the match. And then I can change this for, well, oops, sorry, where I'm, no, I forgot to change it here, sorry. So I paste it, there it is. And I changed, and yeah, it's a prediction. So once it's like this, so yeah, once again, I will score a goal of the match, and that's the question. And then what do you answer, teachers?
It's
Prediction.
a prediction.
Prediction, and yes, prediction. Oops, but I didn't change the, sorry. There it is. So one more time, so sorry. I will score a goal of the match, and then teachers or students respond. It's a prediction, and then we confirm, we give them the right answer. Yes, it's a prediction. I will score a goal of the match. And then here, we just need the question here. I'm going to college. So here, we just need to change this a little bit. Yeah, we just need to make it more interactive in a way that students have something to do. So we can change this, and then we change this, and I erase this, and I copy the, oops, sorry. And then I copy the GIF, and I put it here, and that's it, I hope. Let's see. Prediction or plan, I'm going to college. What do you think, teachers?
Isn't
Plan.
it?
I could say it's a plan, yes, yes.
It's
And they're,
present continuous. Mhm.
yeah, you could use present continuous, but one more time, I could suggest that you try to think of examples that are clearly fixed arrangements, such as I'm having lunch with my boss next Monday, or I'm having a meeting
Yes.
with my coordinator tomorrow in the morning, etc., etc. But yeah, but that's the idea. That's the idea. The idea is that there are different ways of applying all of these resources. I gave you some more ideas today, ideas that I took from different teachers. The idea that you could give them an incomplete sentence that is progressively more and more incomplete.
I like that, yes.
Yeah, I like that one too, very much. The idea that you can just throw them an open question. What is he going to do? What is she going to do? Etc., etc. The idea that you can give them a very funny situation with a lot of, with more or less a lot of information. He's drinking too much alcohol. What is your prediction of the situation?
A context.
Yes, yes, to give them a more delineated context. And the idea that you could ask your students to post, to choose and post different GIFs to talk about their plans for the weekend, and you could discuss that in a either in a Zoom meeting, or if you don't like having meetings with your students, you could just ask them to explain in Facebook each of their GIFs. I probably exaggerated with 10 GIFs. Maybe you just want to ask them for 5 GIFs or 4 GIFs. That's something you have to decide. And yeah, these are all different ideas. Does anybody else want to show anything? I think I have another.
I have one, but
I found mine.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Please, teacher. Yes, if you want to present it, please. I think
or as you wish.
yes, please.
Okay, go ahead, Lupita.
Thank you.
Sergio, I sent you mine.
Yeah, I just realized that
it's similar to the GIFs you have just presented, because
are you able
on
to
my previous presentation.
Yes, teacher. We will see this one, and then I'll open the one that you sent me, teacher Rocio. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, thank you, teacher.
This is a presentation.
Yes, teacher.
Then, what do you think, guys? I'm going to, or I will cancel dinner with a boring person?
I have my answer, but I would like to listen to the others.
Okay.
Here's a plan. I'm going to,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and there we have the answer. Nice.
Now, dear students, are you going to, or will you do something fun next weekend? What do you think?
It's a plan.
What do the others think? I have my own interpretation, but it's
Just a plan.
a plan. So I don't know. Well, in this case, will you do something fun next weekend is the proposal. This has to do with what I was talking about earlier today, when I showed you that you can make these changes, but the conceptual structure changes.
Maybe it could be going to, because
Yes.
I'm asking for a plan.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure if you're going to do something fun.
It's true. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of ambiguous. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the other teacher. I will do nothing this weekend.
It's a plan. A plan.
Okay, very good.
Yes, I'm going to do. And you should notice that, in fact, both answers are possible, but the conceptualization changes.
This is supposed to be a gift, but it doesn't move.
Oh,
I don't know why.
can you click on it?
Oh.
No, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
Sorry.
if you send it to me via email, I can check it out and see if what is wrong with it, teacher. Okay,
I don't know. Okay.
yes, sure. Let me open. Let me show you teacher Rocio's presentation. Just give me a second. Here, yeah, here.
Yes, the gifts
Oh.
are similar to those you showed because I took them from my previous presentation.
Yes, teacher. Okay, this is the one, right, teacher? Yes.
Yes.
So let's see. Prediction plan. Oh, nice. The future predictions. And then you will win the lottery. And the other is I am going to go to the beach next vacation. I'm going to study for the extraordinary exams. And we have to answer, right? What do you think, teachers? Prediction or plan?
Plan.
Plan. Yes, I'm going to study for the extraordinary exams. It's something that I can control. So it's a plan, right? If it's something that I cannot control, if it's not under my control, usually, I don't say it every time, but usually it's will. People will live in Mars in 2050. What do you think, teachers?
Prediction.
Prediction. Yes, people will live in Mars in 2050. Because that's something we cannot control very much, right? It's not really under my control. I hope it happens. Well, I guess I hope, I guess. But the point is that I don't control that. They're going to get married next month. What do you think? Prediction. Plan. Yes, they're going to get married next month. All the ice will melt in the future. What do you think?
Prediction.
Yes, prediction. All the ice will melt in the future. He's going to embrace Boo. Prediction or plan? Plan. I could just change he for she. I think it's a girl.
Okay.
But the example is very, very, very nice, teacher. Coronavirus will disappear in 10 years.
No, because it's she refers to the monster.
Yes.
Oh, I
Boo
beg your
Boo
pardon.
is the girl.
I'm sorry.
The girl's name is Boo.
I didn't know that her name is Boo. Yes, I beg your pardon. You are
No,
right.
don't worry.
I was wrong. Sorry. Coronavirus will disappear in 10 years from now. Prediction or plan?
Prediction.
Prediction.
Yes, prediction. Coronavirus will disappear in 10 years from now. He's going to dance at the party. What do you think?
Plan.
Plan. Yes, he's going to dance at the party. And that's it, right, teacher?
That's it. Yes, I did.
Nice, nice. These are all very, very, very nice, teacher. Well, it's 8:19. It's 1 minute to 8:20, and I am very sure that you have somebody at home waiting for you. So I will stop it there, but I want to say that I loved all of your examples, and I hope that the others can send me via email your templates, your examples, and we will discuss them. Oh, by the way, I think we are not going to meet. We can discuss this via WhatsApp tomorrow morning, but I think we're not going to meet until the end of July because vacations at UNAM are starting next week.
Monday.
Yes, yes.
Monday are starting on Monday.
I'll say tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
So, well, that's all on my behalf. I hope you enjoyed the weekend, teachers. I send you a very strong hug. I
Thank
really
you very much,
appreciate all
teacher.
your
Thank
kind
you.
words that you
Keep-
gave me over the last days.
Keep taking care of yourself, please.
Yes,
Take
yes,
care,
yes,
please,
yes,
Thank
yes.
Thank you, teachers.
because this is
Yeah.
getting worse.
Yeah, we have to be really, really careful with everything we do and well,
Enjoy your vacation, everybody.
thank you,
Yes.
teacher. Yeah,
Likewise.
I'll keep in touch, but I hope that everybody enjoys your own vacations. So I'll see you later, teachers. Enjoy the night. It's
Thank you.
already
Thank you.
8:20.
Thank you.
Bye.
Teacher Rosero,
Goodbye,
see
see you
you.
around school.
Bye.
Goodbye,
Teacher
teacher.
Rosero, see you.
Bye
Have
bye.
fun, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
See you, teacher.
Bye, teacher
Bye.
Lupita. See you. Bye, teacher Sergio.
Goodbye,
everyone.
teacher. Goodbye. Take
Bye.
care.
Have lots
Goodbye.
of fun. Okay. Bye, Dee. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.